The royals have always maintained they're not political figures, yet we are in the midst of a very political situation, in the midst of this heated trade war with Donald Trump, the U.S., and they're really not shying away from defending Canada. Can you talk about the monarchy's role in this ongoing rift with the Trump administration?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the monarch is supposed to remain apolitical, but that's become almost impossible for King Charles III at this point. He's playing the part of diplomat in chief. He's really walking this a very fine diplomatic tightrope where he is balancing being the head of state, of course, for the United Kingdom and for Canada. We've seen him on the world stage with President Zelensky, talking to him about what's happening in Ukraine. We saw him extend that unprecedented invitation for a second state visit to President Donald Trump as well. He is juggling all these balls, playing the part of diplomat in chief, but he also has to assert himself on the global stage, right? Last year, he couldn't really do that because of his cancer diagnosis and recovering. This is his opportunity to do that, to reassert himself on the global stage whilst supporting Canada, reminding President Donald Trump and his administration that he is the head of state of a sovereign nation. And yes, he may want to get Donald Trump on side to make sure that the UK has favorable trade deals with the United States and to wield the power of soft diplomacy and how that can help. But he also, as the sovereign of Canada, has the job of standing up to the United States and standing up for Canada. And that's what we're going to see him do over the next, 24, 36 hours on this whirlwind trip.
And also, Afua, if I can get your take on this, Governor General Mary Simon greeting King Charles III wearing all white, the first Indigenous Governor General, and also the ceremony that was there when the plane touched down.
Yes, I mean, the delegation that met with King Charles III at the airport was full of lots of different people. You did mention the Indigenous communities. There are 3 separate communities represented. We also have that after he met with the Governor General, when we had we got the pictures of the top of the meeting a couple of hours ago, he also had 3 further engagements with Indigenous communities that weren't necessarily on the schedule already. This speaks to King Charles III listening to the calls for reconciliation with these communities, listening to what needs to be done to make those reconciliation claims come to the fore. He decided when he was going to be king that his coronation, especially in his monarchy, should be about diversity. And he's come into criticism, as has the royal family and the monarchy, for not championing diversity in the past. And so I think he is trying to listen and trying to act on that and really trying to enact with the Indigenous communities here in Canada, which I think is supremely important. I mean, Canada has a really unique makeup of all the Commonwealth nations. And if he is going to be the sovereign and deigns to reign over everybody in Canada, then he has to be able to bring all those communities into that. And I think that is what we are seeing.
And then tomorrow, it's going to be a really big moment, not only for this country, but for King Charles III when he delivers that throne speech, something that hasn't been done for decades, as you know well, Afua. And you talked about the king having to walk this diplomatic tightrope. We know that he's expected to defend Canada's sovereignty. He is expected to sort of send a message to the Trump administration. Is he limited in what he can and cannot say?
He is a bit limited. Now, we don't expect him to refer to Donald Trump by name or even maybe mention the United States at all. I think what we can expect is for him to talk about unity, to talk about the Commonwealth, to talk about the value of Canada being within the Commonwealth, talking about friendship. I think those are the kind of themes that we can expect to hear. Like I say, he's supposed to remain apolitical. At the moment, he can only afford to do that to a common stretch. It's not about him wading into politics, but it is about him, wielding his power as a sovereign, as well as using the power of soft diplomacy. So I think, yes, we can expect to hear those common themes within his speech. But I don't think we can expect him to actually refer to Donald Trump or his administration by name. But we know that the Trump administration, and especially Donald Trump, will be watching this very closely. We know that Donald Trump is a huge fan of King Charles. He was a huge fan of Queen Elizabeth II and the British royal family generally. You know, Melania and King Charles III are pen pals. Who knew? So I think they definitely will be watching this event and everything that's unfolding before us very, very closely.
Okay, CTV's royal commentator, Afua Hagan, staying up late to join us live from the UK. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Afua. Always good to get your perspective.